President Trump said today on Truth Social that the U.S. was able to destroy the largest bridge in Iran and warned that it was time for Iran to make a deal. His post echoed what he said last night in his address to the nation, where he declared that America would hit Iran, quote, extremely hard over the next few weeks.
Over the next 2 to 3 weeks, we're going to bring them back to the Stone Ages where they belong.
Now, that apocalyptic threat notwithstanding, the speech was more newsworthy for what it did not say specifically about any progress in the talks with Iran to end the war. The prospect of the war lasting weeks longer led to a surge in oil prices, and as you undoubtedly already know, higher oil prices means higher gas prices at the pump. Iran's biggest point of leverage is that crucial Strait of Hormuz, a vital shipping route that Iran has seized illegally and now controls. Today, the United Kingdom led a meeting of more than 30 countries focused on reopening the strait. Britain's foreign secretary said, quote, "We have seen Iran hijack an international shipping route to hold the global economy hostage." She went on to say that military planners will also be meeting to figure out how to keep the strait secure and out of Iranian hands once the fighting ends. Now, notably, the United States did not attend today's meeting. President Trump has made it clear he thinks securing the Strait of Hormuz is not America's job. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, in the meantime, spoke to NewsNation international correspondent Robert Sherman following President Trump's address, and Zelensky warned that Russia continues to help Iran fight America.
We have confirmation that from my intelligence that Russia shared and shares satellite images of different objects on the territory of Middle East countries. I hope that they understand that Russia helps Iran to attack on your basis, to attack energy system of Middle East countries, to attack different objects.
All right, let's bring in former commander of the USS Cole, Kirk Lippold, and former ambassador at large and coordinator for counterterrorism, Nathan Sales. Great to have you both. Ambassador, I'm going to start with you with a couple questions before I get to the Admiral. It seems the rest of the world has heard Trump's message loud and clear that it's their job to open the Strait of Hormuz, that meeting of 30 countries happening today. How might they do this? How might these countries band together and reopen it?
Well, thanks for having me on. I think the answer to that starts with American leadership. Like it or not, America is the predominant power in the Middle East. We have capabilities that nobody else has, and we have a leadership role that nobody else has. Now, the president is exactly right. A lot of other countries have skin in the game. European countries import oil from the Gulf. Gulf countries export oil, and so their economies are held hostage. And our Asian allies like Japan and South Korea and India import an enormous amount of their energy resources from the Gulf. So we need an international coalition in order to force this open. And we don't want to have to negotiate with the Iranians to open the strait, because that means we have to give something up. And if we give something up, that means the Iranians are going to learn the lesson that they can point a gun at the head of international shipping and threaten to pull the trigger. We can't have that. So an international coalition with the United States playing some role, but others shouldering the burden as well, I think is the way forward.
But Admiral, how would all these nations force the reopening? Explain militarily. You have commanded, obviously, large military vessels. What would they do exactly? How do they force this open, if not through diplomacy?
I think initially what you're going to see, Elizabeth, is the United States, in coordination with Israel, continue to take down not only the leadership, but the infrastructure. As you mentioned, the strike on the bridge today, that was a key pipeline that they were using for military resupply. So not only are we striking the targets from a leadership perspective, but are going after the infrastructure that allows the IRGC to project power, eliminating their weapons capability. That is going to also flow toward what they're doing to hold the Strait of Hormuz hostage. When you look at the little toll that they've set up between Keshem and the little island of Larak, that is going to have to be stopped. The United States is going to create the conditions. An international force is going to have to come in. We have to clear what may be mines within the strait itself and verify there are none there. Then we also need that international force to provide some type of persistent surveillance so that anything coming off the Iranian coast can be attacked and sunk, or if it's ashore, taken out like anti-ship missiles and others. So a coalition will be needed. I think that what you will have to see, though, is United States does have a leadership role to play, and hopefully they will continue to play it throughout the Middle East in this conflict.
Yeah, I'm hearing you both say that we cannot wash our hands of this, as Trump has said, his comments have changed a bit, depending on when he's talking about it. But he's been saying this week, it's your oil, go get your own oil. And, we did all the hard work. Now it's time for you guys to open the strait. But I'm hearing you both say that we can't completely wash our hands of this, that we are the dominant power, especially in the Middle East, but also globally. Ambassador, it would appear that Iran's tolerance for pain might be higher, perhaps, than President Trump anticipated, despite our devastatingly effective strikes from our military and from Israel's military. Iran still has at least some ability to fire missiles and drones. They're doing so into Israel on Passover as we speak.
That's right. They're fighting with what they've got left, and what they have left is actually not all that much. It's not zero, but it's a lot less today than it was 4 weeks ago. If you look at the number of ballistic missile launches since day one and the number of drone launches since day one, those numbers have both dropped dramatically. And it's really a testament to the capabilities of our armed forces. We now have air superiority over Iran, air dominance over Iran, and that means we can basically hunt. And that's what's been going on for the past couple of weeks. So our neighbors, Iran's neighbors in the Gulf, our partners at Israel, they're still taking incoming, but they're in a much better position today than they were 4 weeks ago. So let's see how this continues over the next 3 weeks, which is what the president said last night. He's going to hit them. He's going to hit them hard, removing those capabilities on the shore to hit ships, but also to threaten people in capitals.
Yeah. 10 seconds, Admiral. Can we really be done and out of there in 2 to 3 weeks, as President Trump said last night?
I think it's very optimistic for the president to say that. I think that the military objectives may take longer to achieve. I think we're more than capable of doing that. And when we do, you're going to see the Strait of Hormuz open, not with a zero risk, well, a certain degree of risk until we completely eliminate them.
All right, but 2 to 3 weeks is probably an optimistic timeline, you say. All right.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.